morning, the little dinosaur woke up and went to the next room to wake up Fili. After dinner last night, Luca told them a story, but Fili fell asleep soon after the story started, so Luca had to carry him to bed. So, Fili and the little dinosaur went to the white rabbit Nini's house to have breakfast together. Nini gave them the apple pie she had prepared, and then sat down and started. The little dinosaur held the little apples given by Nini in both hands, looked at the apple pie and cookies, looked at Nini and Fili, and felt very warm in his heart. He didn't have to look for food everywhere when he woke up. There was hot food waiting for him. After eating, the little dinosaur happily ran towards the forest because he wanted to take Fili to a place. Although he didn't know where the little dinosaur wanted to go, Fili chased after him. The little dinosaur ran to a big fruit tree and sat down to wait for Fili. When Fili came, he climbed up the tree, and Fili followed him. The little dinosaur slowly climbed to wait for Fili, and watched Fili finally crawl to his feet. Unfortunately, Fili still slipped off the tree. He tried several times but couldn't climb up the tree. Finally, the little dinosaur used its head to support Fili's butt and slowly climbed up the tree. Fili, who had just sat down on the tree, was startled by the chirping of a bird above his head. They were on the tallest tree in the forest, and the view of half of the forest came into view immediately. Fili was very surprised. Fili looked not far away and found several chipmunks carrying food together. He thought it was so interesting to watch from this angle. Fili slowly looked to the right and saw the raccoon Kaka sitting in front of the house, thinking about something, holding a pancake in his hand, but his eyes were a little dull. Fili looked toward the river and saw the brown bear Luca grilling octopus whiskers on a grill. There was some soy sauce next to him and he was adding honey to the whiskers. When Luca had almost finished eating the octopus on the grill, he sat on the ground and weaved the octopus tentacles onto bamboo sticks. He happily admired his own craftsmanship. Luca held the skewered octopus tentacles in his hand, a warm smile on his face, and his thoughts began to fly to the distant past. When Luca's father handed him a skewer of grilled octopus tentacles for the first time, he asked him to open his mouth and eat it with a loving look on his face. Luca said, "Can I eat it with a fork?" His father nodded. Luca was reminiscing. Of course, Fili and the others couldn't see Luca's reminiscence. Fili said to the little dinosaur, "It's funny, but we can't hear what they're saying. It feels like a pantomime. Let's go down." The little dinosaur nodded and asked Fili to hold his neck tightly. Recalling how the little monkey Gallo easily jumped from one tree to another, the little dinosaur jumped up, but unfortunately he was too heavy and tended to fall straight down. He quickly kicked his legs in the air. They fell safely from the air to the middle of the tree trunk, and the little dinosaur clung to the trunk of the tree and slowly slid down to the ground. On the other side of the woods, Boone the crocodile is picking apples. Since he has short arms, he makes good use of his mouth. Of course, when the basket is full, he will eat some apples. After picking apples, he went to look for honey. He told the bees that he could do something for them in exchange for some honey, because Boone didn't want the bees to give him honey every time he would feel embarrassed. The bees agreed and gave him a small bottle of honey. This time, Boone added a little lemon and meat in addition to honey to make the cake taste better. Just as he picked up the knife to cut the cake, Fili and the little dinosaur arrived behind him. After the gray rabbit Masha finished her work, she wanted to eat the cake made by Boone. As soon as she arrived, she saw this scene of eating cake. Martha quietly approached the little dinosaur who was concentrating on eating the cake and reached out to touch his arm. She then climbed onto the little dinosaur's tail and used her hands to touch the back of his head and back. She felt that his skin was soft and smooth and felt very good. After they had eaten, they played together. They were chasing each other, and the little dinosaur was attracted by a colorful butterfly. The little dinosaur chased the butterfly. Fili and Martha chased the little dinosaur into the flower forest. Wow! There were many colorful butterflies here. The little dinosaur was very excited. They chased each other and laughed, and other small animals joined them along the way. They played until dusk, and when the sun slowly set, they competed to run back faster. Probably because they had exercised too much, they fell asleep soon after dinner, before Luca finished telling them his story. Luca had no choice but to give them his big bed. The sky was full of stars tonight, and even the moon was sleeping. It should be a good night's sleep. Today's story has ended. Thank you for watching. See you next time.